If you are in the market for an iPad, there is a question you've been probably asked yourself. Well, do I need to spend £1,000 for an iPad, or I can get the same value for half the price? Today, we are diving into that question, and stick around because the answer might surprise you. If you are a content creator, a student who just want a reliable device for work and play, the iPad Air M2 is the perfect balance of power and affordability. This device is packed with most of the features of the iPad M4, but we have to keep that in mind. Is it truly worth it? So let's see, how does the iPad Air M2 stand up against the pricier model, the iPad Pro M4? Because the new M4 has a magic keyboard, the new 120Hz refresh rate display, and who is it truly for? First, let's talk about what makes the iPad Air M2 big, and by big I mean a serious contender in a tablet world. It is powered by Apple's M series chip, the one that you found in a MacBook Air and Pros. What I mean by that is you get the fast performance for video editing, gaming, and running a demanding apps. Just keep that in mind that all of these, it comes around $600 compared to the price tag for the iPad Pro M4 with a price of $1,200. Also, if you are a student, that will coming down to $550. It is like having a sports car's engine into a family car. It is fast, powerful, and reliable, but without the hefty of the price tag. That's what the iPad Air M2 feels in my idea. What good is power if it's hard to use? The iPad Air M2 makes working in Apple ecosystem easier. Whether you are sharing files with your MacBook, using your AirPods, switching simultaneously, or you want to answer calls through your Apple Watch or through your iPad. And this is all is thanks to the Apple ecosystem that makes everything perfect. From taking files from your iPad or MacBook to the other with just a click of a mouse or a trackpad. And let's not forget features like Stage Manager make multitasking so intuitive. If you have an interview, a client call, or you just want to go to your interview and having your notes beside you to not forget what you want to say, well, that is really easy with the iPad multitasking and opening multiple windows at the same time. For everyday users that they are already in the Apple ecosystem, it's not look like you're just buying an iPad. It's look like you're buying an iPad and it's going to work with all of the devices from Apple that you've been already own. What is new and exciting about the M2 chip is to introduce the features like fast rendering times for the creative apps, smoother gaming, and support for advanced new accessories from Apple like the Apple Pencil Pro. But the thing that blow up my mind here is this iPad is that powerful enough that you edit 4K videos on them and using the tools like Final Cut Pro and the DaVinci Resolve. A feature that once was just premium to the high-end laptops. What I like to mention here, and I tested, is you have to keep that in mind that the rendering times for the creative apps is about 15 to 20% slower than like M4. This is not like something again changer or something to have to keep in mind if you are a professional editor and you're editing simultaneously every single day and you want the high refresh rate and also the fastest rendering time. As I was saying, it is really perfect for video editing, 4K footage. Like, create a really nice project on these iPads, enjoy the flow with the pencil, and also having more control over the things you do like Photoshops or other things. But the things get more intensive here is when you're putting a really heavy project on these iPads, like color grade, putting some transitions, and at the same time adding too much sound effects, that is create the project so heavy the iPad going to drop frames. Even if you go for the M4 on the iPad Pro, that is much better, but they are still dropping some frames. But in my idea, having this iPad is look like you having a professional editing suit just packed in your backpack. About safety, not a physical one, but the financial one. Spending over $1,200 is a huge commitment on the iPad M4, especially if you're not sure that you're going to use all the features that the iPad M4 will bring to the game. With the iPad Air M2, you're literally getting from 70 to 90% of the performance for nearly half the price. And you have to keep that in mind. That's not a safe move, that is the smart move. For most people, this is all the tablet you ever need. Whether it's for work, entertainment, creative project. Plus, Apple's means build quality that will last you for years without even breaking down. Keep in mind that one of the drawbacks is the promotion display that is not supported on the iPad Air M2. It means you don't get the buttery smooth refresh rate that is 120 Hz on the iPad Air M2, but you will get it on the iPad Pro M4. For the casual users who want to work it in work or play some easy games on it, it's not a deal breaker. But you are an intensive gamer or you're editing in a fast pace, you have to keep that in mind. At the first, if I be honest with you, use it for an hour, you will recognize it, but after an hour, 2 hours working and locking, you don't see the difference about it because you get used to it. I think about the storage, most of the people, they're not going to store too many things on their iPad. They're usually using SSD, or maybe they just want to keep it in the iCloud. But if you're trying to store things in your iPad, keep that in mind. The 128 gigabyte, it's not enough for you. You have to spend more on a 256. Finally, after all of these, even it's compatible with the Magic Keyboard, the Apple Pencil Pro and the USB-C. You have to keep that in mind that all of these will be sold separately than the iPad Air. All of these can be added up. This is just something I would like to mention, that you have it in mind before you spend it, because some people rather to spend all the money they want to spend on the Air with the Magic Keyboard and the Pencil just separately on just the iPad Pro. And about the iPad, where it shines and I love it, it is the Apple ecosystem that makes everything looks like literally smooth. But the tips here is the new OS on the version of the iPad and also the MacBook. Imagine opening a project on your MacBook and you just want to transfer some files with your iPad to your Mac or from your Mac to your iPad. You don't need to do the AirDrop, Bluetooth or sharing with the cable or anything like before, because with the new OS, with just a click of a button, just drag and drop and that's it. And the other thing I truly love about the iPad, even the Air or the Pro, literally you can use your iPad as a second screen on your setup and with just a mirror screen, and the refresh rate is so high that you don't even notice that they're not connecting by cable. I would like you to introduce something new for the editors and the content creators here that is like a dream for me. Imagine you open your MacBook and you have your Premiere Pro, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, it doesn't matter. When you mirror your screen, you can literally drag all the Premiere Pro onto your iPad and control all the timeline with just a pen or maybe just with your finger. And I think that way the editing, it goes so smoother and faster. For editors, they know fast pacing edit is one of the most important things. If you want to ask yourself again if the iPad Air M2 worth it, you want an iPad that is powerful enough for semi-professional tasks and also light for everyday use and affordable enough in the market that you don't rub your pocket, I think that is the good choice. Sure, it's not max out, but for the price, it delivers what you need. Let me know if this review have been helped you to decide which one you get. Also hit the like button and subscribe us for more tech reviews. Let me know in the comment what are you going to use your iPad for. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, keep your tech in check.